things that the show has done the best is to reveal or expose or explore things that we've only heard of in the movies that we've never gotten to see. Is there a next big place or thing or idea that's on the horizon that we haven't heard of yet that's going to come through?
Yeah, there's a lot of that. I mean, I think that this season we've written so many stories. We deal with a lot of the really big questions. You know, not so much this season in some ways, but you know, in future stories George has asked us to write. It's pretty compelling what we're doing. This season, though, focusing on, you know, the characters that we created in the Clone Wars, the Satines of the world, the Ahsokas of the world, Pre-Vizsla, you know, Darth Maul, Hondo. We see a lot of things happen to these characters that, you know, we brought in or brought back, and I think I've mentioned there are consequences for these characters, unexpected consequences. We introduced some new characters. The planet Onderon, you know, is a big, vast new world. We go to a planet called Scipio, which is actually the home of the banking clan that George had. So we're going to go see that planet where the Munes are and get into that. So some really interesting things that answer a lot of questions about the formation of the Empire itself. A lot of what you will see, especially by the end of the season, more than ever before on our show foreshadowed the creation of the Empire. And you will be, by the end of the season, just like the Jedi, looking at all of this around you going, wow, we didn't quite see this coming. This has really developed more than maybe we thought it was going to. So there's a real movement by the Tarkins of the world. And I think that's pretty compelling as far as the big picture and how it connects to A New Hope and what the world we see the Empire is of the future.
It's knockout too. I mean, it's really. I mean, I've only seen a fraction of it, but you know, going off of the trailer that you have seen, it's really a knockout season. I am very, very excited to see it.
They're funny. They never get to see it. Some of them, it's like, you know, the first time they saw it was last night when you guys saw it. So they record this stuff, and it's like, I just explain it all to them. Oh, this is going to be great. It's like this, and you're here, and there's a bridge, and snow, don't worry about it. It's going to look awesome. You know, and then
doesn't make a damn bit of sense.
Right. And we go away, and then we do, you know, a whole bunch of other episodes, so they forget about that episode. And then when they come up to the ranch, I lock them in a theater. I'm like, just go watch this stuff. And you know, for you guys, it's like you're literally transported. So back to your question, like, do we watch it? I think it's almost more interesting to watch because they had sometimes they had minimal context for what it was actually going to be. So when they see it, where they understand where they were standing when they said that and who was around and how the lighting is.
Yeah, it's like a year later too since we did the performances, so you're completely disconnected from it. You know, you forget almost what you've done. But you know, as the show has developed, the great thing is the patience in the storytelling. How it started as a brighter, simpler series, and as it's gone on, things have gotten more complicated and more adult. And what's cool is that as those stories get more complicated, the show gets more visually stunning and complex, which is you know, they all could have been more impatient. They could have gone straight for these things right away, or let's do a Mortis thing in the first season or something like that. But it wouldn't have been the right call. You know, you want to know what you're doing by the time that you really get to those heavy-hitting things, and you really want to have these characters established so that the audience feels something huge when something happens to any one of them, you know, and it's that patience in storytelling is something that I admire in terms of what they do. But it's great that, you know, this guy gets to really develop a visual look that is equal to the task of telling these tremendous mini Star Wars movies.
We don't light it like animation. You know, Dave said to me many years ago, it's like we need to, you know, get Frank Miller, get it very graphic, make it look, you know, something different. And then one day George came in and had us push it even farther than before, which was really good. for the look. And so because of that, I've tried to push it even more so cinematically, and with the influences of obviously the feature films that are out there, but movies that always influence me. I'll watch a movie, you know, I'll see Drive, the movie Drive, and then instantly it's like, I have to have that look. That scene reminds me of this scene, and we try and push it more cinematically, and it just helps with like what these guys are doing. It's like we're talking about the rest of season 5. It's like I can't just have you guys just be delivering lines to each other. It really has to be like you saw Anakin's bedroom in the clip today, and immediately I'm like, well, that is Elliot's room from E.T. It has to be like that because there's this feeling of like a little boy's room that I wanted, and it was just always having the light like bars move around Anakin's and Obi's face. It's like it's that kind of thing that just keeps the audience like, you throw out the fact that you're watching animation, you're sucked into the delivery of the story because it's cinematic.
Well, and he was saying in the panel that you know, not to underline this point just in case it gets you in trouble, but that he used some of the Mustafar matte paintings, you know, that were used in the movie Revenge of the Sith, and he used them in this show. And the fact that you could actually get away with using those paintings in the background of our show, and it's seamless, really tells you where the visual bar has been set.